This episode of the T4 Show is brought to you by Netflix. Watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on your PC, Mac, iPad, iPhone, or TV instantly. All streamed directly to you, saving you time, money, and hassle. For your free 30-day trial, go to netflix.com/GFQ. Hey everyone, welcome to the T4 Show, episode number 143 for May 29th, 2013. And yes, I am coming from Osama bin Laden's cave in Afghanistan. The lighting here is terrible, and hopefully by episode 144, or maybe 1044, we'll have it solved. But one person we want to make sure is doing okay, that they're comfortable, that their internet speeds are correct, and that they have their fake championship belts behind them is Colm. How are you doing, Colm? Are you all right? Can I get you anything?
Can I get you anything? A whole entrance theme now?
Maybe a diet or a workout. Can I get you something?
How you doing, Michael? I'm doing excellent myself. It's great to be back here at T4. And sadly, or maybe gladly, the last episode here from this location, which I will be leaving in 6 days.
How is it that each time we do an episode, our surroundings and our environment and our studios get worse? Are we supposed to get better as time goes on?
I think since T4 started, I think this will be the new location will be my fourth scene on the show, because it was my office, then my kitchen, then this, and then there.
Yeah. How many have I had?
I don't know.
Can't count. It'll be depressing. We've moved around so much. One guy, though, that we have with us today, this is probably why our setups look so awful, because compared to Andrew's area, now the brand new studio is going to have a TriCaster very soon, so we might be able to solve some of the issues. Let's take a look at your studio, Andrew, and see how we can look at that.
What do you think? I have a martini with me. I'm enjoying my.
Need anything? No. Let's check on him. Let's see if he's doing okay. We don't want him to be stressed out right now.
Who, Colm or me?
Okay, you.
No, I'm doing amazing. I'm excited to be here. This is the first Wednesday I've ever been on the show. And it's the first Wednesday that I'm not actually in the city doing the Chauncey Hayden show. So I told Colm, I'm like, listen, I want to be on the T4 show. Nothing better than this.
What happened?
Nothing better than this.
No, this is great. No, I really enjoyed doing this. I wasn't feeling well today, and he didn't have a good guest, so I canceled on him. Pretty much, I told him I don't want to show up.
I was going to say, what's his reaction when he sees you here on the show drinking?
Yeah, what is he going to do? Quit? He has nowhere to go.
Wow. Okay. Neither do we, though, I guess. No, we came here we volunteered.
You guys wanted to go. I mean, listen, I
absolutely did. I mean, are you sorry now that you see this amazing setup with vacuum cleaners?
You know, I'm going to tell you something.
ATTs in the back.
I'm going to tell you something, Michael. I'm looking at your video, and yeah, you don't have a lighting kit running, but it looks phenomenal. It doesn't look bad at all.
So here's the formula before we get started. For all you young podcasters, all you young video streamers, and the people that say, I really want to aspire to be on a GFQ network someday, you need to cut your bandwidth by by 2/3 down to 1/3, and you need to rush and just makeshift your studio and successful follow.
That's it. That's what you need.
If you plan it out and you put diagrams and you try to use wireframes and you have meetings about it with the GFQ network, it's guaranteed to be an absolute failure. Just fly by the seat of your pants, get a cheap webcam, film some cat urinating on the lawn, and you're going to be a millionaire.
That's actually the endorsement of the century. That's all you need to do to make money. But you actually have a point there in this crazy thing where you said your internet is cut by half. At times, if you're having some sort of, let's say you had a 30 by 50 internet connection, if there's a lot of line noise on that line, you are not going to have a stable connection at all. But if you have a 10 by 10, you might have a much better experience. So there might be something behind that.
Oh, I mean, so Colm may have a very terrible internet connection with his 130/75 Verizon Fios.
Very, very much possible.
65. Please get the numbers correctly. And let them know that I told you about that great deal.
We've actually been having a big problem here with GFQ and Suncast. He cannot download from our FTP at a reasonable speed. He's getting about 90K download, which is atrocious. He should be getting at least, I think his max is 2.6 megs per second download. So he's not getting speeds at all, and we kind of brought it down to a issue with one of the hops out of Verizon. So it's so crazy and it's so unstable. You may think Colm has 150 by 75, but let's say and he's on Verizon and you're on, let's say, Comcast. Let's say there's a Time Warner hop somewhere in between the connection between you two and they're experiencing a problem. Your connection's going to go to crap.
Oh.
Right.
I'm not touching anything.
Don't touch
Nothing
it.
at all. Everything stays like this. I'm going to buy another Retina display MacBook Pro. This will not move off the desk. Nothing is being touched from now. Even the phone, even my water. I'm not moving. See, I moved it. Now it's going to screw everything up. So I'm going to leave it right there. And we're going to actually continue for episode 142, Colm and Andrew. You weren't here last week, Andrew, but I know this is of interest to you. Xbox One event. We have had a week to kind of digest, to kind of look at this and see what comes out, especially on the used game and the reseller front, like GameStops and GameFlies and places like that. Where do you stand now, Colm, on an Xbox One? Do you still think that the PS4 is superior to the Xbox One?
I do.
Oh, it
I
sounds
do.
like
I'm going all Sony here. I'm going PS4 is going to be the console I'm going to pre-order, and I'm not going to get the Xbox One. How about that?
I will believe the first part. I won't believe the second part. I know you're going to get both.
Really?
I'm curious why.
Because
Yeah, why?
why? Because I have to look at last generation and based off of the games that were exclusive to the console, because I know both consoles have all that internet and all the other stuff, which I use my Xbox 360 just to play video games. I don't use it to do anything else on it. So I look at the first party games, and I enjoyed more first party titles on my Sony system than I did on my Xbox. There you go.
What about, no, here's what I look at it. I know people that play PS3 games exclusively, like Madden and things online, and they constantly have a problem with PSN. So are you able to now go all in on PSN? And I don't think I have any video, but do you think you're going to be able to go all in on PSN and count on them to have an internet connection when you need it? Because you have a high-speed connection with Verizon Fios, but it's no good if you can't connect to the gaming server.
Michael, you know what else has also changed my mind? I mean, you make a great point about that. And yes, Xbox does do it the best when it comes to multiplayer and the servers working, everything like that. But with paying for Xbox Live Gold account versus paying for a PSN account, I love that I'm able to get these free games every month. I think that's just an incredible value.
With PSN, you're talking about.
With PSN.
See, for me, I think it's more than just the gaming. I think it's the all-around experience, and I think you're going to get a far better user experience, especially when it comes to the media on the Xbox platform. I
hear what you're saying. If I have to look at it as entertainment boxes, if I compare the two in entertainment boxes, I'm not going to lie. What Microsoft showed with that box and having the fantasy stats in there, having all that sports. I mean, how many times am I sitting here on this couch watching Jerseylicious and I'm looking at Tracy and Olivia fighting, and then it could have a pop of what the national score is because I'm not watching that game because
that's phenomenal. I mean, the biggest uphill battle that both Sony and Microsoft face, and I actually went on to this YouTube battle with people. They're kind of upset that I'm taking the side of Microsoft in this, and I'm kind of supporting, saying, listen, Microsoft is doing a far better job than what Sony is. The reason why I say that is because the future of these devices is not the console. It's not the gaming, I should say. It's the all-in-one experience. Gaming is a very niche audience, and the people that are waiting in line buying a console, it's not what it was in 2006 when these things came out. You have so many other options. You have the iPad. You have these little Android boxes. You have everything else to kind of feed that need. You don't have to go buy an Xbox to play video games anymore. And
that is very true.
I think the way that you're going to be able to kind of offload that and to be successful as far as profits go for these consoles is you have to offer something for everybody. So you have to crack that niche audience that you're in and expand into, the living room, which is everybody.
Do you think it has anything to do with the way the Xbox has I guess, a more Western style of marketing as opposed to Sony's Eastern style of marketing. I think that that's huge.
No, that it's not even just the marketing. I think it's the entire layout of
the whole thing.
I mean, you look at Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo has kind of dropped off because the quality of the games and the lack of Nintendo exclusive titles, but it's also the whole factor that, you know, it's a UI. It's not friendly to us.
Right. They both systems I think lack. I think they have awful UI. It's functional, but not like
you're talking about Nintendo.
It's not pretty to look at.
Nintendo and both Sony.
Right. I think it's very functional. It's just not pretty to look at, and I think Microsoft has done an incredible job. I mean, listen, I would love if they are cheap enough, I would love to drop and get both. But I just think that the experiences I've had of the single player type game experience on Sony have been incredible. I mean, with the Uncharted series blew my mind. With Heavy Rain that I got to play, the whole Apocalypse, the Metal Gear games. I mean,
well, what are you going to do about Halo? What are you going to do about Halo?
Halo's made by two women now.
I'm back, and I have my battery's died on. I can't get a break with anything here. It's driving me nuts.
Michael, Halo's made by two women now.
What's that?
Isn't Halo made by two women now?
Oh, you love that. You love the Halo when the woman came out. What's her name? Betsy Ross?
She's girl crazy, Michael.
What are you guys talking about?
We've had whole discussions about you.
Me?
Yes. No. But Michael,
so what are you going to do about Halo? Let me ask him a question. What are you going to do about Halo? Halo's exclusive to Xbox. I think there's got to be one or two other titles exclusive to Microsoft. What are you going to do?
I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't get the Xbox 360 when it came out. It took Gears of War 1 to come out, and I bought the system and Gears of War 1 at the same time. So it would be a game like that. Like, I don't think any of the launch games are going to
fall or winter, right?
What is?
The new Gears of War is coming in the fall or winter.
No, you haven't heard anything about that.
Well, like with Andrew, we made a point last week. Let's go back to the Madden 13 and the NFL agreement that Microsoft has. Wouldn't you think that they're leaving a lot of money on the table by not releasing the Xbox One in August with Madden 13, the 25th anniversary, I should say, of Madden 14, and the NFL Network, because you get a season of NFL, and you could also pay a subscription, I assume, to the Xbox to watch your NFL Network stuff. So, I mean, are they going to wait till 2014 to make money off of both these things?
I see. This is the biggest problem. Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do exactly? How are they going to make money off of that?
Well, they're definitely going to miss the boat on Madden if they release this in November. There's no way that. Well, there might be a way they could release Madden again for the Xbox One, but how many weeks into the NFL season are they already losing money on a subscription for a full season?
Yeah, because you're saying it's not coming out at the beginning of the season.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I think the thing that doesn't make any sense.
What week does the season start?
August.
End of August.
Labor Day weekend, but you're still getting some. I mean, you can get NFL content.
I'm not talking about the preseason. Not the preseason.
Oh, September. Usually it's around September 11th.
Okay,
Remember how it was at?
Yeah. They're losing about 2 months, almost 2 months of the season if the rumors are true and they come out November 5th. Right?
So are you willing to lose that kind of money? Or are they going to re-release? This is my question. At least are they going to try to salvage it by saying Madden is coming out on Xbox One as a launch title in November? But are there people that they're gonna cannibalize the Xbox 360 sales on the 25th anniversary game? You're going to lose money one way or the other, no matter what decision you make.
Well, here's my other thing: if games are going to come out and they're going to be $69.99, that's another reason why I'm not excited. Though,
are you sure it's going to be $70?
I mean,
yeah, it is.
I would think that they'd raise it the same amount they've raised it every time they've jumped. $10 jump.
I think what they're looking from what I know, they're going to have certain titles being $10 more than the other titles.
Wow. I think which is ridiculous because if you get it digitally, those prices should be. I mean, that's why I love Steam right now. They're so competitive with the pricing on there. I haven't bought a game for $60 since Madden.
I thought the model they were going to do is trick people by keeping it the same price and make it think like, wow, I'm getting a great deal. They haven't raised the prices, but take a lot of the main content and treat that as DLC.
That
So
would be
give you
better.
more, like, say 10 levels that you would normally get for $60. Now you're going to get 7. You're going to have to pay for 3.
Yeah.
So they're making it like Andrew's favorite game, Candy Crush. What level are you now, Andrew?
250.
250. How much have you spent in the game so far?
Nothing.
That's impossible.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my god.
I think I have a problem.
200 and something?
No, I am at level, I think, like 250, but I've literally spent just like $1 every now and then to go to the next like stage. I haven't
every
bought
now and
anything.
then. So what is that, like $20?
No, not even. Like $6.
$6. So I've spent more in Dodo.
Jesus. But Michael, when you got disconnected, I was trying to make this point where a lot of people are upset that the Xbox, I guess, press conference was kind of, revolving around TV and not the gaming portion. And my point was, they have E3 to talk about gaming as much as they want. The purpose of this event is to appeal to a mass audience where people are watching this and saying, wow, I need to get an Xbox in my living room. They're not going to be able to do that by displaying the latest Halo game.
Right.
The gaming, the gaming, I guess, genre is shrinking as far as the people that were initially in 2006 going and waiting online and buying an Xbox, at $500. The same people will not be doing it anymore. You have far more platforms now that you did, 8 years ago. You have your iPad, you have your iPhone, you have all these simple gaming platforms. You can't, they're just not going to appeal to the masses, to that niche as much as they were. So they have to appeal to a whole different group. You know what? I'm going to go wait in line because the TV stuff was important to me. I thought that was fascinating.
You're going to wait in line.
I did that for I did that for both Xboxes.
Yeah, you're going to do it now.
Yeah, why not? Well, no, now I'll just get it one sent to me a week before it comes out. But you know what I mean? Someone like me that is no longer a gamer will buy this because it's appealing to more than just that counter Call of Duty and Halo guy.
Yeah, I think where they need to go is exactly where they went with the Xbox One event, and that's the converged set-top living room box. And that's what I feel like. I don't even think that case is the finished product. I know you talked about it on What to Tech with Paul. I think they just needed to bring it out in a case just to show a physical Xbox One.
Well, that's going to be the release. That's the final design for this release. Now, there's multiple reasons why they did that. One, because they do not want to have the same debacle happen that happened with the 360, where the thing was just overheating. It was just nonstop problems.
I think that was like a $5 billion mistake.
Oh yeah, they hemorrhaged money. That's the reason why they couldn't recoup the money from this. The plan with the 360 was for it to be a long-term console. They weren't going to swap it out in 3 years, but because they had that major issue with the Red Ring of Death and where they had to replace it multiple times for people, they lost a ton of money. This Xbox will have that layout, but within a year, it's expected they're going to revise it a little bit.
Like a slim?
Yeah, they might get a little smaller. I see that happening, but
a little smaller.
Well, the thing is gigantic, but I don't know exactly how small they could go with it. But they're doing this as oh shit, we don't want this to happen again. Let's make sure it won't.
I don't know. I think it's a little of both. I think they probably did want to make this a lot bigger so you don't have the overheating. But I think this is not the final design. It might not shrink by 50%, but I'm looking at, we have to put something out here. Maybe this isn't the final design that we're going to go to production with or send out to the masses in November, if it is November 5th. But I think they said, talking about debacles, they don't want to go out there and just show a controller like Sony did. And what was the main thing? Out of all the real gameplay footage that Sony put up there as opposed to the rendered stuff that Xbox put up, all people talked about was, well, my God, we didn't even see what it looked like. That's all they cared about. So I think Microsoft said we have to show them something, and that's it.
Also,
it just seemed
with Microsoft,
the case was way too big. The case seemed like it was just a shell around the ports and the components that you were looking at. That's what I saw.
Now the fascinating thing is, what the hell is Sony's box going to look like? You know, I mean, I doubt it's going to be. Sony may have an advantage.
They're going to
here.
go thinner. They have to.
Well, Sony may have an advantage because this thing is gigantic and it's not attractive. So if Sony actually makes an attractive piece of hardware that goes in your living room, I mean, that alone, to some people would be like, wow, look at that. That stands out. It's not just this big, giant, box, literally a box in my living room.
You know what would be kind of cool, and I know they're not going to do it, but if they shape it almost in the way that they have the Vita shaped, that way they kind of go hand in hand.
No, they should make it so you can just take your Vita and drop it on there, and it charges and connects to it. That would be awesome.
You know what? Are these going to have induction charging? Are they going to have wireless charging on these controllers? Nobody made mention of either of that. No,
that hasn't hit. That's not mainstream in cell phones yet. I think cell phone market has to drive that to work. I really do.
So, Andrew, what are you getting? You're getting the Xbox One, but would that be your choice if you didn't have a kind of like inside track to it?
You know,
you're saying he's already bought. Is that what you're saying?
No, listen, I buy them all, regardless. The odds of me, I'm probably going to pay for my Xbox, but I'll be able to get it. But I'm most probably going to buy a PlayStation 4 as well. I have both. I have a PS3 and I have an Xbox. The truth is, what do I turn on more? The last thing that I've turned on, neither one of them are functioning right now for me. I have them both like on the stairs going to the attic, but the PS3 is the last thing I turned on to play Fire Pro Wrestling.
And then he never played it again.
And then I cursed at Michael and I said, I have no idea how he plays this game. This is ridiculous.
I bought the BenQ gaming monitor, tournament one, just to put it over here to my right. I have the PS3 here. I'm going to bring the 360 in. I love Fire Pro Returns. It's the best $10 I ever spent.
I don't know.
Better than Candy Crush. Better than spending $10 on it.
Better than Candy Crush, but I still stand by that. No Mercy was the best wrestling game made.
I agree.
I know how Michael feels about this.
And you get to be Michael in that game.
And you can be Michael in the game.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. I don't like that. But I like the rules check, but I didn't like anything else about it.
Yes.
I'm in a video game.
What's that?
I said, I'm in a video game.
But Michael, let me ask you this. As a gamer, do you feel almost insulted that the Xbox announcement was not catered to you and it was catered to television?
100% not. You make the point. E3 is for gaming. This event was going to be for everything but that. They got plenty of time to show games, to talk about games, to do press briefings, to do everything they needed to do. That's that's there for. This Xbox event is, for lack of a better term, mainstream. And the connected box, we look at the 360. One of the most attractive things, obviously, for me is being on Xbox Live, being able to watch Netflix. I really would rate games maybe number 3. I would say Netflix is number 1.
Really?
Wow. I like to play games, but when I turn it on, I usually watch Netflix. I like the attractiveness of, as we talked about last week on our Netflix read, which is very popular at Netflix, so thank you. But I love the fact that it goes automatically from episode to episode on a TV series. CW has been a very popular app with Arrow and Supernatural over the past month since they released that. And then I go to Sci-Fi. And, I play Madden, I play games, but really it is converging over to a set-top box for me. It's my a la
but the
carte.
lag is so awful, Michael, on that, isn't it?
Well, I don't think it's. Paul talked about the multitasking on the one on what the tech, and that's going to solve that problem. But really,
True.
It's
well,
nothing.
Here's my other thing.
It's nothing I'm going to notice until I get an Xbox One and I go, wow, the 360 is terrible.
How do you guys feel about them still going with the Kinect and more voice control, which is so fake?
I think that's phenomenal. I think that's a great thing.
There's no way it works as good as we saw it on that presentation.
It may not, but it's another device that brings you one step closer to that futuristic way to do computing. I think this is great. I think what the next generation device, and I was surprised they didn't do it with this one, so it means that they're not really ready. But what they will do is they're going to say, listen, you don't need a remote anymore. You just tell it what you want, and it'll do it. You just guide your fingers. Your finger's the remote. And I think that's going to be their next angle with the with the next generation one.
I gotta raise a red flag on that, because you know what that means? It's one more thing that's listening to you. One more thing that it's talking about, like Chrome. You can say, "Hey Google" or whatever, and it turns on. It means it's always listening. So the Xbox and the Kinect system have to always be listening to your voice to say Xbox on or whatever. So how are we not to know that whatever we're saying or anything is not being put in a database?
Oh, I think it definitely is. Oh man, they're gonna
get that database, don't you?
Oh, I want to see that database so bad. And you know what? Let me tell you this: the Kinect has an HD camera built in.
Oh wow!
You know, I'm a little concerned. My Xbox is in my bedroom.
Oh man!
Some guy at Microsoft is gonna have a field day.
Xbox One / Andrews Arian /
I'll tell you, I'm gonna let you peek. I'm gonna let Xbox and Kinect peek into my bedroom and see me sitting there playing PS Vita with 3 cats on my lap, and I know that's probably some strange kind of porn to somebody, but not most people.
I'm sure someone in Japan will buy that.
Have a good time with that. Why would you have a Kinect in your bedroom? What are you playing in the bed?
I play a lot of things in the bed. I play
sex and the Kinect that I don't know about?
my Xbox is in currently my Xbox is in my bedroom. I moved it up there because the TV in my living room is an older flat screen, so it's not 1080p. But in my bedroom, it's first of all, you saw that Hitachi, and it's a really good Hitachi.
It's a plasma. Isn't it?
It's a phenomenon.
Plasmas still, I think, have the best picture.
But I moved my Xbox to my bedroom because it had Hulu Plus, so it stayed there.
You have, but you don't have to connect there. Do you have to connect?
I don't have it. No, I don't have it.
That's what I'm talking about. Why would you? What kind of movements are going on when you're guiding the Kinect? You'd probably burn it up or something.
No, personally, there's no movement of mine happening in the bedroom.
You know, that would be kind of funny to see the menu, how it would move. Anyway.
So let me know anytime that we're going to lose Netflix during this conversation.
I love Netflix. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Sunguest said there's a Kama Sutra app for Kinect, so that might be a good reason to have one in your bedroom.
So yeah, that's another weird thing that I guess we're gonna find out more about. But a lot of people are like, I don't want to have a thing in my house that's listening to me 24/7, and I agree.
Yeah, and I'm sure for a fact, before we move on, I'm sure for a fact that it is not turned off by default. That's turned on by default. The listening, sure. You know. So I'm going to get Xbox One. You're going to get PS4. Andrew's going to get both. And I agree. I guess we all agree that nobody's really going to touch the Wii after this thing is released.
Does anyone want one? Email me at Colm.
You know what? I want to get rid of mine so bad.
I do want one. I'm getting a bunch of stuff from Nyko, so I have to get a Wii U.
I have not turned mine on since beating Mario 2 days after Christmas.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. I can't give it up because of that Luigi DLC that's coming. That's right. Never mind. That's the only game worth playing on the whole thing.
All right, so we'll move on. We're probably going to have a lot more to talk about over the coming weeks and months as things develop, especially with the used game thing. That's still a little confusing. So we're going to touch on that on the nerds. We could probably have a whole show just on that. But talking about D11 and Tim Cook, his full video interview is online with Walt Mossberg and Kara Fisher, or Swisher. I'm sorry, Fisher.
Swisher, yes. I highly recommend everyone.
Kara Fisher sounds nicer, though. That's what I'll call her from that one. So anyway, there's full interview. I watched 2 or 3 clips, Colm and Andrew. I don't know how much have you guys seen of this.
I've seen about a little more than a quarter.
Unfortunately, I was actually dying to see it yesterday when I read that he was doing it, and I haven't not seen it. I was spending the entire day figuring out a way to format this Mac. I had a lot of issues, but I heard you had a lot to complain about it.
Me?
Yeah.
I said that. That's right. No, I just think when you do an interview, you should kind of let the person you're interviewing talk. I don't know. It's a really crazy idea when you want to interview the CEO of Apple that you kind of let him you kind of let him dominate the time. Even if it's maybe 60-40 in his favor, I can still see it. But I watched 2 or 3 clips and it just seemed like Walt Mossberg was asking. I mean, he was eating. His questions were like, I timed one question that was supposed to be a question that was 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. That's a very long
God.
question. Tim Cook's drinking water and he's looking and he's just nodding and he's looking up at his picture on the D11 sign and he's just like, when the hell is this guy going to ask me a question? And then it was so long and drawn out. And you know what the question was? Basically, why don't you make more than one iPhone?
Yeah,
that was it.
Big, yeah.
Did you see that video, Colm?
I did. Because well, I can't really comment on Walt Mossberg because I've met the man in person and asked to take a picture with him.
Well, you know what? You're
oh
my God.
You know Walt Mossberg. I've emailed it back and forth. But wait a minute,
Michael, can I do it?
Full kiss ass mode.
Can I do it? You're a mark.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What are
you? I guess you're on Team Mossberg.
You are.
First of all, I didn't even tell you what happened. I'm not on him because he was.
Wait a minute. You're a Walt Mossberg for Walt Mossberg.
No, I'm not.
Because Walt Mossberg is a mark for Steve Jobs and Apple. He never asked the tough questions.
Right.
And you are a mark for him.
You
just said basically, I took a picture. If you took a picture,
I didn't take a picture.
Would you not say something bad about him?
All right,
I'm saying, what's the chat room say about this?
Do you have an I'm a Walt Mossberg guy t-shirt?
No, let's not go. We don't have to go full bore into the route. I'm talking about if you had taken. I'm serious.
First of all,
you know he has beef with Thurrott, right? They do not like each other. Him and Mossberg have a lot of problems.
Are you both going to just not let me talk?
I don't know.
Oh no, because you said all you needed to say. Here's my point. If one of the 9/11 terrorists took a picture with you,
oh, here we go.
Would you not say something bad about him after that? It's no different.
All right, can I tell you what happened now?
My tweet was so right on. No, you're not going to talk.
First of all, there's no picture of myself.
So right on when I said, come tune in to episode number 143 and listen to Culmination, Kiss Ass for free tech stuff. That was my tweet.
All right, that's a wonderful tweet. Can I tell you that there is not a picture of myself and Walt Mossberg? Did you hear me?
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
There is no picture of myself and Walt Mossberg. Because I went up to him and asked him for a picture. And he said, what for? And I said to tweet it out. And he said, no, and walked away from me. And now I don't like him.
Wait, this is the strangest. Andrew, am I wrong in saying he's defending Walt Mossberg because he took a picture with him?
Well,
I'm not defending. I'm saying I couldn't comment on him.
Did you ask him out to dinner also?
Oh, here we go.
Did you offer to take him out on a date?
Listen, I'm not. I have nothing against Walt Mossberg. I've communicated with him through email, but it doesn't make him immune to the fact that I was like he was just awful when he was awful when he was asking Steve Jobs questions. He's obviously not objective, and this is coming from somebody. It's a huge Apple fanboy who does not like Android, doesn't see the value in that as much as iOS and the Mac platform, but he has an opportunity to really press him on the tough questions, him and Kara Swisher, and they kind of just sit there and it's a kiss ass session. It's all it really is. They don't want to make him mad because they don't want Apple to put them on the blacklist.
Because Mossberg. I mean, listen, Mossberg is the only one that gets these previews and gets these devices before anybody else. I mean, of course he doesn't want to piss him off. As far as a career goes, that's great, but. Would I take Mossberg's opinion of Apple legitimately? No, I take it with a grain of salt. He's known to be an Apple fanboy, and that's how I see it. I personally have beef with him because him and Thurrott have problems, and I'm a Paul Thurrott guy.
Oh, here we go. First of all, I do not care for Mr. Mossberg because he would not take a picture.
What did
with
he
me.
say to you?
So you wouldn't let me tell anyone because you both tried to kill me about a picture that never happened because you didn't let me tell my story.
Don't cry.
He was very rude and mean to me and my wife, and I dislike him immensely.
Really?
Yes. It's too much. No.
What did he say to you when you asked for a picture?
He basically said no and just like went
oh, what
by
an
me.
asshole! That's an asshole.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, here's a top rated comment on MacRumors.com. This
so
kind
I'm a
of
Paul Thurrott guy.
Sit out right here. Tim Cook, quoting what he said. This is what the guy quoted him. Tim, we're still doing okay. I'm a lot like Steve. We have really exciting products coming out, but I'm not going to say what, when, or how much. Walt, Thanks for being on the show. Good night.
No,
That pretty much says it, doesn't it? Right there.
He did say a lot,
am I on
though.
with that?
Yeah, but he did say a lot in the whole. In the parts I've listened, I love how calm and relaxed Tim Cook is. I think he really does command a presence. I think not only because he is a big dude, but he really he thinks out what he's going to say, unlike me. And what the things that came out of it, I thought they're not going to make a big screen iPhone or a second iPhone right now because basically they don't see a reason why. If they're doing so well right now, why do they have to worry and go again? Like, let Samsung have their market. They're not worried about it. And the other thing he said, he did say something about, was it Apple TV? I can't remember, but there was something to mention towards that too. But of course, nothing really came out. It's just great to watch a man who basically has accomplished so much and is really like at the top of one of the biggest companies in the world.
Well, did you think? I mean, I didn't watch it live, and I really didn't go and say, "Oh my God, I have to see this," because I have to see what Tim Cook said about. We knew we were going to get a bunch of non-news. I don't know what conferences like these are supposed to accomplish or what they're going to say. The only big news that I saw was that Tim Cook said that they are going to show the iOS 7 there at WWDC, which we weren't sure about. So that's probably the only thing that was new or something that wasn't said before from Apple. So we're going to see iOS 7 at WWDC, according to Tim Cook. And that's a pretty reliable source.
Well, I'm excited for that. I'm actually really excited about iOS 7 and the next version of OS 10 because you're going to see more of this new unified look, and you're going to see the Johnny Ive influence in the software now, which he's done phenomenal for video. I don't know if you guys read the news, but they said it's going to have a very black and white look to it. Which I don't know exactly what that means. Are they actually talking about the color pattern, or are they talking about this contrast? I wasn't too sure what they meant by that.
Wait, say that again?
It's going to have
that?
Yeah. People that have actually seen it have explained it, have said that it's black and white.
Really?
Yeah.
I think what they're talking about is the edges and the way the outside of the actual icon looks. I think the colors are still going to remain there. I don't think we realize what kind of skeuomorphic type things are on the standard. I'm looking at it right now on the icons for iOS, but they do have like the Notes app. I'm looking even the stocks. I mean, a lot of these icons have never really changed.
I mean, even down to on OS 10. I mean, you look at your calendar and you look at your contacts list, and it's this silly, it's like a journal, which
skeuomorphic.
It's skeuomorphic, and skeuomorphism really you do it because you can, not because it actually adds something. I think the simpler look is definitely a right way for them to go.
But don't you think that Windows sort of has that simple look now?
Yes, it does.
So won't it almost look like they're copying Windows?
No, I think the entire industry is going in that pattern. I would expect the same thing from the next version of Android. I mean, that's really where it's going. You don't need to have mirroring and reflections and shadows and all this stuff. You did it because you could before. Now you don't have to anymore.
Listen, I'm so happy because that's the way in my style of design that I always go with that look, because I just used to always do that stuff and I'd be like, you spend so much time on it and it just looks like overdone a lot of the times, and to the point where it's like then you have these giant files and then things are taking longer to load when you could just do it quick and easy. So hey, and Johnny Ive, he is an amazing designer, so this is going to pretty much be his big thing to the world, being like, here it is. Now that Steve's gone, I have the vision.
Do you want to take a picture with him too?
I would ask him for a picture, yes.
Would you do more than just a picture?
I would too.
What are you talking?
Would you
be friends?
Would you? I don't want to. No, I'm drinking. I don't want to say.
Be friends?
I'm going to ruin the show. I was going to ask him if you give him a hand release, but okay.
Wow. No.
I'm sure you would.
No.
Like the wise wizard in Your Highness? Go into the den for playful secrets?
God. I thought we had a family show.
I love this show.
We have some playful secrets with Johnny Ive. Jump up and down on the bed with your shirt off with him.
Thought we had a family show. Family.
Different strokes, bike shop.
Anyway, so I want to talk about a story that I had on the list about something that's happening in the Orlando area, Michael. I don't know if you heard about this, but it came out Mac rumors that Apple hires at least a dozen former AMD employees for an Orlando GPU team, and they're still hiring more. Basically,
Well,
these were there were
I don't care. No, that's all that the story is. I read it. That's all it is. What's the big deal?
Right. Well, I just wanted to do a little bit of.
It.
I wanted to speculate what this was.
Well, I think Apple. Apple. I believe last week when they were being grilled on the whole Texas thing, they said that they're bringing jobs to Texas, and they plan on bringing a lot of their operation here to the States. And I think that is a great thing for them to do.
And that's what I wanted to talk about.
I mean, they're kind of, and I don't mean this as a knock to Apple. I use a Mac, I use an iPad, but they don't have that wow factor that they did in 2007, 2008, 2009. So how are they going to compete with all these, Chinese-made Android phones? You know what you say? You say, we're bringing the jobs here to the States. This is an American phone. This is an American product. Support Apple. And I think that alone is enough for people to say, you know what? I want to support the company. Even if I'm not an Apple guy, I'll pay a little bit more, considering that they are a premium device, as they say it. I'll pay a little bit more for this because it's made here in the States.
I couldn't agree with you more, Andrew. I think back when I was a huge Apple fanboy, I didn't care what it was. I wanted it from Apple, and I didn't think about how and who made it and how it got to me. And basically, now that I'm like, I've actually matured a little bit, maybe, and I look and see that, oh my God, we need to worry about what's going on in this country. That I was with this company that was pretty much farming out all this stuff and spending all our money over there. So, yeah, I love it. And so I just wanted to mention that it's like Apple's one of those leading companies that's bringing more and more of these locations and hiring people.
Would you pay $100 more for an iPhone?
If it meant that it was going to people who made it in this country to help our economy, yes.
I don't think the majority of the people in America will feel that way when it comes down to an extra $100. I don't.
I you know what? I would actually pay if they gave me the option to pick between the Chinese-made stuff or the American-made stuff. I would pay $100 more for the American-made stuff.
Yep.
I'd do it in a heartbeat. I mean, strangely enough, when it comes to cars, I'll pay more to make sure my car is made in Japan because I know the quality is going to be better. So I've literally paid more for my car because I didn't want the one made in the U.S. factory. I wanted it made in Japan.
Yeah, but aren't most of the Japanese being assembled here in America now?
Not the one I have.
Oh,
some of them are.
Of course.
Many of them are.
Okay, how many people, I'm going to play devil's advocate, how many people, and I work at a job, we all have worked at jobs where people just do enough to get by. They don't take pride in their work, and it's just a job, or they bitch all day about their job. How do you know that these people aren't going to do the same thing working in a factory for Apple? How do you know they're not going to be paid factory wages, which aren't really great for most people? It's very hard work, and they're going to be expected to produce a lot of stuff where the Chinese are used to doing that, and they aren't really exactly happy, but that's their lifestyle, working the 16, 18 hours a day to do that kind of thing. It's much different.
Then, if that's the case, Michael, that is very sad for the future of our nation. If that's really,
it's been sad for a long time. But I mean, is that a good point, Andrew? I mean,
I think that's a really good point.
It's sad.
So you'll be in the same instance that you're in with your cars. You're going to be the same way with your phone. You're going to be like, well, God, I mean,
yeah, it's possible. I mean, you're absolutely right. The American car industry, these crappy, as it was noted in the 70s and 80s about the Japanese cars, kind of took over the market because of the build quality, because of the reliability. And American cars just recently started getting better. They got out of that slump of the 1980s and the early 90s. And it took them forever. It took them 25 years to kind of rebrand themselves, but they still have those negative stigmas. It's still really plasticky. There's still reliability issues with many of them. So yeah, maybe you're right. Being made in America doesn't necessarily mean that it's a better thing. You may have a point.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope it does translate, and I'd be happy to pay more money too. But if a bad product comes out of the American portion of the production, then people are going to go, well, I'll just go back to buying and saving money and get better products.
I'll give you a good example of build quality and what it means. I've always had a Japanese car. My wife's lease was ending. She has an Infiniti. So I wanted to go and buy American. And I said, you know what I want to do? Let's go to Ford because they didn't take a loan out. They didn't borrow money from the government. And I've heard great stuff about them.
I love Ford.
Let's go take a look at Ford. Ford Sync is really cool from what I've heard. And so she wanted an SUV. So we looked at the Taurus. We looked at all this stuff. And we looked at the Ford Edge, which is their I guess, crossover SUV before the Explorer. This thing was a piece of junk. It was all plastic. Everything felt crappy. Everything was rattling inside. The Ford MySync stuff, it was utter crap. The touch interface was not responsive at all. Even down to the sunglass holder. When you hit the sunglass button, it's for tiny little sunglasses. Nothing fits in the thing. And they wanted $48,000 for this car.
Wow.
You know what I did? I literally, they wanted $48,000 for that. It was all plastic. Top to bottom.
Are you saying Leo's wrong?
I'm saying I don't know what car he sees in these Fords that he's supporting because these things are a piece of junk.
Well, they should send us one, and we should try it out.
And let me tell you, they've gotten a lot better. But
you'll change your mind then, Colm. You'll be like, "Oh, this is the most amazing car
dude."
ever.
If I had a Ford Mustang, I would love.
Pipe and start going up and down on it. Come on.
You realize that a Ford Mustang is like
they already got something in their back pocket. They got Leo. They don't need you.
Listen, I'm just saying, if money was an option, I could go and they could say you can buy a car right now. I would buy a Ford Mustang.
Why?
I love that car. I really love that car.
I mean, listen, the motors, American motors are great, but you're not getting anything. No, you're getting no technology for the bang for your buck. There's still, traditional push rod engines, but the fact that they wanted $48,000 for this thing, the lease was astronomical. I went to the Infiniti dealership. Everything is leather, everything is high end, everything is quality, and I'm paying $200 less a month than I would have buying a Ford. There's something wrong there if that's the case.
No, you're missing the entire point, Andrew. You glossed over the fact that once again, Colm is pretty much whoring out the GFQ network.
He wanted a car.
Car.
I want to try out the car and see what it is because I have faith in it. I think Ford is an incredible car.
I think we're gonna do a segment every week that needs to keep you in check. It's called Calling Out Colm. This week on Calling Out Colm, basically we're gonna call out Colm on the fact that he gets free stuff from Logitech and other companies, and then I go, "Are you going to do a video?" I do it live. I don't do no video.
Do live.
Talk about it on T4 show. You do the video. Yeah, you make it. What? I'm sorry. What was that?
I said, yeah. If you want to send me your product, I'll do it live.
You'll talk about it for 25 seconds on the show. Yeah, this is really good. I'll use it for free.
Michael, this tactic of talking about this doesn't help getting us the people to
I've been getting plenty of stuff because I put stuff up on T4 show videos. It's fine.
By the way, I'm bashing on the build quality of American cars. I did go to the Chevy dealership recently, and I really fell in love with that Corvette. So.
Oh, that's a beautiful car too.
Yeah, that if you were talking about the Corvette, I would agree with you.
Oh, the Corvette and Mustang are very similar.
No, there's nothing similar about it.
Well, the Corvette is a sexier car, and the Mustang is a, masculine.
No.
Let's test him right now. Okay,
here we go.
Because I can't let go of this. We're still on the segment.
Apparently not.
Okay, you get your free Ford Mustang.
Okay,
but it's pink and it has a huge penis on the side. Will you take it if they give it to you?
No, I would not.
In a heartbeat, you're taking it.
No way. Why would I want that? That's stupid. I'm not a clown.
It's a $50,000 car that's pink and has something on the side of it.
I'm not a clown. Come on. Not a clown. I'm not doink.
So I'm just trying to put it together, but you won't do a 5-minute video on a $50 accessory.
When I have the new studio, yes, I could go live and do it live.
This is the only way I can hold you accountable and calling out Colm. It's going to be a weekly segment, and unfortunately, it's probably going to go on for a very long time. It's going to have a longer run than friggin' The Office and Seinfeld put together. But
I like this segment.
Oh,
like
apparently the chat room
Yeah.
seems to like it too.
yeah, we're actually gonna tie this into your live reviews that you do for the product, and I'm gonna definitely. It's gonna go back to back. I'm sure the chat room loves that name
I'm
for
sure
the
the
segment too.
advertisers will love it too.
What?
I'm sure the advertisers will love it.
I do plenty of videos. I represent the product very well. So
I was
You know
going to
what-
represent the product very well if I love it.
listen, we're part of GFQ Network. Andrew's nice enough to have us on here. You know, you can hear all this stuff, including new segment calling out Colm on the Roku now.
That's what I
You know
heard.
that?
I've actually tried it out.
How's it work? I don't have a Roku.
Well, you go to what is it? Channels, I believe was it, or apps.
You go to channels and you go to
Channels.
new, and GFQ is right
Technology.
there.
Oh, it was under new. I thought I had to go to technology.
Nope. We are featured on the front page.
Look at that.
Nice.
So then you get it there, and can you watch this right now live?
You can watch it right now in high definition live on your Roku.
So I could be like 70 inches on someone's screen.
You could be 70
Yeah.
inches on someone's screen.
I do have a question though. I'm sure Colm. This is the reason why I was in Google Docs in our episode 143 notes. Roku raises $60 million investment as it tries to keep up in the war for your TV. I know for a fact Colm put this in our notes because he's wondering, am I going to get some of that $60 million investment? Is Colm owed any of this money, or is this strictly just to battle Netflix and other set-top, whatever
No, I
TVs?
think they're actually going to bill Colm.
They
Bill
are.
him? Oh, he made the investment.
He may be getting charged. No, I think this is phenomenal. The future of these, we look at these set-top boxes. We talk about what's the best TV box that you could get. Is it Google TV? Is it Roku? Is it Apple TV? That's not really the question. It's whoever will have dominance and have a relationship with the TV manufacturers where you have the interface on the TV.
I agree.
If Roku signed a deal with, let's say, all LGs and you get a Roku experience on LG, I think that's a huge selling point. The same for Google TV and with Samsung. If Google TV is on Samsung and you know all your all those apps that are available on Google TV, which are limited right now, but hopefully they'll fix that, are on the TV, I think that's a big selling point when you walk into a store.
I agree. I've finally experienced what it's like to have a smart TV this past weekend, and it's weird. It's like they have a lot of apps on it. Like there's Skype, there's Netflix, there's Hulu, all these different apps. But the one thing that everyone says about them, and it's true, is that it's just a clunky interface. I mean, the one Samsung TV I got had
awful.
It said dual core. No, but it even was saying dual core chip in it, and it was fast in bringing everything up. But it was so there was boxes everywhere, and just you didn't know where you're supposed to go. And I don't know. I just think they need to do something with Roku, who understands. Okay, we need to make an easy interface for people to use and access content.
It wasn't fast when we were testing it out, though.
What did you test out? Roku?
No. We tested out smart
No, Michael,
TV.
that one was, but that was the Vizio version. I'm talking about the
Oh, okay.
Samsung. Yeah, the Vizio version is even worse.
Well, this is a fragmentation that somebody like Roku could go across the board, not just with manufacturers, but try to get and make themselves the smart TV platform. Because right now it's got to be running on something along the lines of old Android or Linux or something, because it's so clunky and slow. I mean, I've used it before back about a year or so ago, and it just you hit the remote and you can count the 3 or 4 before it goes to the next box. And like you said, if you're all the way up here and you got to go all the way down here, you better pack a lunch, because it's going to be a long time before you get down to that icon, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a big problem that all these TV manufacturers face. I mean, Google TV has a problem with clunkiness. Roku, actually, the new interface that they put on the Roku 3 is blazing fast, but the new interface on Roku 2, it's really efficient and really optimized, so it works great.
I meant smart TVs in general, not the Roku.
No,
I'm talking about
and that's the thing. I don't think they're capable of it. These are not software makers. I don't think Samsung is capable of making a really speedy UI for your TV, and that's why they need to rely on services like Google and Roku.
I think, though, based off of
Samsung's stupid, though, because they could put TouchWiz on the TV. and have it work with the Note 2 and the S3 and stuff like that.
That's what I was going to tell you, Michael. This new version on this newer TV I got. This TV, by the way, that I picked up was just manufactured in May, so I think it's like the newer one of it. And the keyboard is exactly the keyboard that I have on my Note 2. Like, it's exactly the same. So I think, and it has like the all share thing is you can turn it on and it'll see your phone and you can see the pictures on your phone. Like it does work. And I'm assuming they're running a version of Android on that TV now.
You know, it'd be amazing, and I think it'd be a great selling point if you buy a certain TV, say you buy the 55 or the 60 inch, the really high end TV, you get a Note 2 or a Note 8 or even you get something with the remote software on there and use it as a second screen, or even a universal remote for your Samsung TV. But you're like, wow, I got this phone. Now I'm going to activate it and I'm going to use it for my cell phone. And you really would. I'd buy a $1,500 55 inch TV if I was going to get a Note 8 or a Note 2, because it's like, wow, I'm just got another thing. And I mean, the Note 2 and even Note 8 are really good devices.
Yeah, universal remote market is just, I had to just purchase another one, and I was looking, I was like, is there something new in this market? Does Logitech still own this market? Of course, they still own it. So I had to pick up the Harmony Ultimate because that's the latest and greatest. But I wish there was some kind of competition out there.
But it's not even that great, right?
Well, I haven't gotten it yet, so I'll let you know. But I do. I mean, if it works like my Harmony, the one before the Harmony 1, I thought was the best one. I think the Harmony 1 was just so laggy. Like, you'd hit it and you'd have to hold it. How ridiculous is it that I hit a button? They'd make it so easy where you just hit watch TV, but you hit it and then you just sit there and hold the remote for like 2 minutes so it can do all the different changing. It's awful.
Wow. I'm looking at the Ultimate remote. I don't know if I like this design. It's cool looking.
Really? With the hand? Did you see the side view?
I didn't see the side view.
Oh, the side view is great. And you don't like the icons where you just hit ESPN logo and it goes straight to ESPN? I think that's cool.
And it has an iPhone app. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
The thing with the Ultimate that I noticed, though, I mean, you have to have really big hands in order to be able to go from the bottom to the top, unless you just use the touchscreen, because you have all the play and record function on top, a whole button and screen. It's not that big.
No, it looks big in the picture. But did you see the side view, how thin it is at the bottom, and it's just fat? It wants you to hold it at the top. You'll see. Yeah, so I think it wants you to use a second hand to work the bottom part.
I just looked at it. $350, man. Oh my
I know.
God.
See, there's nothing else though. But when I'm talking to my in-law, like we're getting my in-laws that as a gift, right? To be like, thank you once again too. And they want something that's going to be easy. So when they go upstairs, they hit one button to turn everything on, and they can control everything, and one button to turn it all off, because they don't want to have 3 remotes there. So there's nothing that really does it that good.
It's a good point. It's a really good point. I don't
Tell me about the Wemo though.
The Wemo. I don't want to talk about Facebook, so we're not going to do that. I'm tired of Facebook. The Wemo. The Wemo. The Wemo, the Belkin Wemo, was sent to me for review. So full disclaimer there. But I'm definitely going to purchase switches and motion sensors, because I have to tell you, Colm and Andrew, what an easy setup. Really easy setup. The most difficult part of the setup for me was my fault, because I was trying to use Reflector for the Mac to mirror my iPhone on the Mac screen, so I could do a screencast and then have another camera off to the side when the light turned on and be all fancy. But they were both conflicting with each other on the same Wi-Fi network, since they both work over Wi-Fi. But once I did that and I wanted a live video in front of the lamp, the setup took about maybe 5 minutes at the most. I didn't even look at the quick start guide. It guided me through it on the iPhone. And now, to my girlfriend's displeasure, I can turn on and off the light anytime I want. As a matter of fact, I was messing with her yesterday from work to test it out, and it works perfectly. It gets a little bit of a lag over 4G or LTE or even 3G, but it takes like 3 or 4 seconds and turns the light switch or whatever you have connected on or off. Very easy to use. And when you pair it, Colm, you're going to love this. When you pair it with IFTTT.com,
yes,
the options and everything you can do, the utility, especially when you're talking about a motion sensor too, which I have outside the cat's litter box. It's just an amazing tool when you pair them together, and you can pretty much get that towards that smart home, that automated home that I'm sure you're looking to get when you move into your new place. It's really, I cannot recommend it enough. It might seem expensive, but the utility and what you do and how you program it with IFTTT is just, you'll end up saving money and also saving a lot of headache.
Yeah, I definitely want to pick these up, as well as the lights that are out there, the Hue lights.
The Hue lights are, I mean, they are expensive. That's the next. I think the 3-step process for me is the Wemo. I'm probably going to get another couple switches for different appliances and stuff like that. The next step after that will be the Philips Hue lights, which come in a starter pack. That's $200 with the bridge and 3 bulbs. But that's really cool because now you're talking about geofencing, not even just motion sensor, but you're talking about geofencing. So I have a set of stairs and 2 lights that someone keeps forgetting to turn the lights off even during the daytime. So with the I'm not mentioning any names, by the way, but with the geofencing, you basically can walk up to the door within a few feet. The lights will turn automatically on. Then when you're not there and you go outside that geofence location, as far as I know, the lights go automatically off. It really will save money. Plus the fact that the bulbs are tested to last 15 years, Colm, which I don't know. Nobody's tested that long, but much longer than a standard light bulb. Plus, you can get them to flash when the Nationals score. I'm sure you.
I know that would be so cool. I think I definitely got to pick them up. Just as, I mean, they have a nice like bundle pack there that you get like 5 lights and the system.
No, 3 for $200.
3. Oh.
3 and the bridge. You need the bridge, and the bridge is cool because once you buy one bridge, you can connect up to 50 light bulbs.
Oh, wow.
Which is really useful.
Yeah, that's smart.
So you can control that from your iPhone, just like the Wemo. What am I saying?
A Wemo.
Yeah, why do you keep saying that?
It's like a moo.
What is a Wemo? Maybe because I'm looking at the picture of Snickers and her birthday's coming up, and planning the birthday party. But
we're planning a party for a cat.
We're gonna get into that before we go. Yeah,
I had a birthday party for my cat.
It's her first birthday coming. It's a big birthday. She's a baby. So anyway, the Nest thermostat, the 2nd generation, not the first. That's something I know that you want, Colm, and that's the 3rd step in creating what my girlfriend calls a prison.
Yes,
an environmental prison that everybody lives in. I love it though. I think it's great.
I love it too. I think the whole automating things in your life make your life better.
Yeah, but at-home automation has not really gotten too much. I mean, I remember I had an IBM at-home automation system in 97, and it was the same exact thing as it is now. I mean, the cost has not really dropped.
True.
It's still $40 or $50 per adapter. I mean, when these things are more around the $10 a unit, I think that's when it's really gonna take over. But I have not seen a huge improvement in at-home automation.
That's very true.
I think I have. I mean, you can go with the simple, just turn the dial to the timer that you want the light to go off and on. I mean, those things still do exist, and you can get them pretty cheap on Amazon. But I have to disagree with the fact that when you introduce a smartphone like the iPhone 5 and you're using that to turn lights on and off, and it's detecting motion in front of certain things, and you're getting notified of that, and you pair it with a free service like IFTTT, you got to check that out, Andrew. That just blows my mind. I go there every day just to browse recipes. You can create your own, and it really does. I mean, if it was just turning lights on and off, yeah, I can see it beyond, $40-$50 or whatever. But when you introduce that API or that way of bringing functionality to these things in your smart home, it really does make a huge difference, right, Colm?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
You know what would have been cool if you had it somehow wired from, the entire house was just automated. You had it pre-wired for that.
Well, I have everything else pre-wired.
No. If you had automation, yeah, like you just had everything automated.
Everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is automated. It's called, he lets his wife do everything. So his whole house is automated.
You don't know that.
I have a pretty good idea by knowing you. That's it. So then I did the Wemo. It's actually about $80 now on Amazon, which is, it's dropped about $20, Andrew. So $80 at Amazon for the Switch and the sensor. And the Switch itself is a little expensive, so you might want to get both because, the sensor, I think the Switch is like 45 or 50 in some outlets. So I'm really happy with it. And, I'm going to do some updates on it and test some other stuff. And Colm, I might not have as nice a home as you, but I'll probably have a smarter home than you, hopefully.
Well, that's pretty easy, probably.
And you know what? We have a working relationship with Belkin, so you don't have to go and try to schmooze them for free stuff, right? Yeah, we do. That's how I got it.
I don't think they have a working relationship with me.
Because they expect us to record videos and content and review the stuff. I know it's
that sounds like old. That sounds like old media to me.
That
old
sounds
media.
like
Streaming is the new media.
Work for you.
Streaming is the new media, right, Andrew?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you? He hasn't reviewed one of these 20 products he's been given yet.
What are you talking about? These 20 products? I don't have anything here.
Where's your Logitech stuff? Where's your keyboard? Where's your speaker? Where's your?
Where? I don't have time.
I'm just saying.
I did a video on the speaker. Do you not remember?
Yeah,
I love that. The speaker it resides still to this day, Michael. The speaker you said I will never like more than a month is still in the bathroom. Here, I use it every day.
I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud to have Netflix as a sponsor still, especially hopefully after this show.
I love Netflix, Michael. I haven't been using our family account together. You know why?
Why is that?
Because I went to netflix.com/GFQ and now I have my own family account.
Well, it took you long enough.
What? And that's because I wanted to watch all the new Arrested Development season.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, Angie loves it.
Is that your pick this week? The new Arrested Development?
No, I have a pick for a movie. It was my pick last week, so I have a movie this week. But yeah, the wife and I are on 6. I mean, we couldn't power through it, but we've watched 6, and it's great to see it back on Netflix. And it's great to be back on Netflix. I haven't been there in so while. I forgot how the website's so much better now. The apps are great on all the things. I mean, it's great.
Is that your pick, or what's the movie?
No, my pick is Robot and Frank. If you guys want to see a movie about the near future, which I think could happen, they have some smart TVs in this movie that are unbelievable. It's a movie about an old man who is basically sort of like having dementia start to happen in his life. His son is worried. His son gets him a robot because now robots are like the thing in the near future. And he doesn't want to have it. Of course, they develop a relationship. Blah, 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 blah.
And he falls in love.
Falls in love.
With
they have
robot.
little robot babies. They have a Throtbot.
They play the Kama Sutra game on the Kinect.
Right. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. What?
There's no sex scenes with this robot and this old man. Are you into that?
No, it stars Frank Langella.
I think he is into it.
James Marsden, who plays Cyclops from X-Men, Liv Tyler, which is Steven Tyler's daughter, and Susan Sarandon.
I'm sure you know who she is, yeah.
Oh, well, here we go.
Because he's girl crazy.
Oh, here we go. I thought we already did the segment called Colm. Now we're doing it each segment now?
The entire show.
It's the entire show now.
Well, my pick is Arrested Development because it's amazing.
And Michael's is Under the Red Hood from Batman.
No, it's not. It's actually still the Justice League. I watched Epilogue again last night. Actually, I watched Hereafter Part 1 and 2 on the Justice League, not the Unlimited, the regular one. And that's a great one because Superman supposedly dies, but he actually goes thousands of years into the future and he meets up with Vandal Savage again, who's an immortal. And Vandal Savage ended up destroying the world by trying to take it over. And him and Superman work together in order to get Superman back so he can save the world. So Vandal Savage is helping Superman save the world from Vandal Savage. And the interesting part is when Superman goes into the future, the sun is red, so he has no powers, and he needs to go all Grizzly Adams and fight all these monsters and these dogs and actually survive until he gets to the Watchtower, which just crashed back down to Earth. So very good episode. The Justice League stuff is great, especially not the Unlimited, but the regular one, because mostly every episode is a 2 or 3 part episode, which I'm a big fan of, where you can just watch it straight through.
So that's it's just called Justice League?
Yeah, there's Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. This is the regular Justice League.
Yeah, okay. I haven't watched that one. Unlimited's
a little hit or miss. It's got some good stuff when it's talking about the Batman Beyond stuff or Bruce Wayne's older.
Right.
When they start going like off to like the spin-off shows with the Flash and the Green Lantern battles somebody in Flash's hometown city, and I'm like, I'm not watching that. There's no Batman. But it's great. Justice League.
All right, cool.
I'll pick
so yeah, you should all
one.
go to netflix.com/GFQ. And I mean, you can start your 30 days today. So you can watch all of Arrested Development in probably a weekend. And then you can go and watch every comic book movie over and over again. Like
ever made.
It's $8. So I mean, you're gonna end up signing up like I did and like Colm eventually did. You're gonna end up signing up.
Yeah.
How long were you? I'm trying to think of how. If it's $8 a month and you were on my account for.
All right, so let's wrap this up, everyone. Let's wrap this up, Michael. Why don't you tell everyone where they can reach us?
Well, first of all, Snickers' birthday is coming up, and I'm really planning
Happy
this.
birthday.
It's going to be a big thing. No, not yet. It's June. We got to plan this. So I'm trying to find little kitty birthday hats. I don't want Shana and Pooh Bear to feel left out either. So we might get them like a cake made out of like cat food and stuff like that. So we're going to go to Publix and try to. It's going to be a big party. We might stream it on GFQ Network.
You know what? I would love to stream it.
It would probably be the highest rated thing ever done.
I would actually love to do that. We streamed my cat's 4th birthday on the GFQ network. And we got him a Mickey Mouse cake. We got a Mickey Mouse cake, and we had little kitty hats, and all the pets in the family came over.
We're going to do it. We're going to stream Snickers' first birthday party here, and I don't know if we bring other animals over, but it'll be a big birthday party. Are you going to be a part of it, Colm? No.
I think it's a great idea, Michael.
What are you guys doing? Cat birthdays?
Yes.
That's what's going on here.
Oh, dress your dog like Darth Vader, though. That's really normal.
Listen, me and my dog have not been getting along since the move here, so he's
sure.
on the verge of maybe not making the move to my house.
Well, he's invited to the birthday party if he wants to come.
Stanley, Coco, and Spencer will also come.
We're all coming. Everybody, big kitty birthday party for Snickers. So that's it. We're gonna do it live. That's it. And I'm very excited. I'm a very good cat daddy. I really am.
The cat daddy.
I am. I love my cats. I said so in my shoot interview. I'm sure you watched that 100 times, right?
You know, I used to like the cat Ernest Miller.
Man, you always. We were going to end it on a high note with a real kitty birthday party type thing, and you had to stretch it out, but that's okay. So this is episode number 143 for the T4 Show, May 29th, 2013. Look at the show notes, all the stuff we talked about, including our Netflix picks, rest of the developments in there. Go to GFQ, or should I say Netflix.com/GFQ. And yes, next month, very soon, stay tuned. Snickers' first birthday party is coming soon. You can follow her at Snickers the Cat on Twitter. Yes.
No.
Yeah, Michael Manna, and follow him at Culmination. Follow Andrew at Andrew Zarian, and also at a GFQ Network. For now, for everybody here at the T4 Show, yes, my cat has a Twitter and a Facebook page. Thank you, and best luck in all your future endeavors.